Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, Toronto's been hit by a freakish heat wave, and so topless in my shorts with all the windows open and a nice cold Coca-Cola at my side, I sit down to watch MbL playing as the Koreans in red take on Mr. Yo playing as the Celts in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Ooh, will he pivot a little bit to the north and catch the other goats? Let's wait for it. There we go. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today? Now, the Koreans are a civilization classified as quote-unquote defensive, but you wouldn't know it from how players are using it, since some of their static defensive features can also be effectively used in rush strategies. To start with, all Korean tower upgrades are free, and starting in Castle Age, those towers can be upgraded to have +2 extra range. Now, to help you build these structures, Korean stone miners do work 20% faster, and once they're out on the map getting that secondary stone pile, they do remain a little bit safer from raiding because they come with 3 extra line of sight, which means they can see enemy units coming from farther away and can react a lot quicker. Now, if you want to engage in a more mobile warfare, Korean military does come with a few powerful features. To start with, all of their archer and infantry units cost 50% less wood. Their archer units get free armor upgrades. The minimum range on their MbL line is reduced from 3 to 1, which is a godsend for anyone with pretty good attack round skills, and those very same MbL line units can be upgraded to have +1 range, which does mean that those Korean onagers, siege onagers, can outrange certain castles and even towers in the game. Now, if you're tired of playing defense, you want to roam around the map looking for kills, you can turn to the Korean unique unit, the War Wagon. This is a mounted archer unit with a very healthy amount of HP, high base pierce armor, and one of the strongest base attacks of any archer unit in the game. Now remember, the War Wagon is also an archer unit, so it does benefit from those free archer upgrades, those armor upgrades, and the wood discount that I just mentioned. Did he take it without damage? No, he did not. Man, oh man, always fun to see elephant and rhino pulls. Now, pivoting to the other side of the map, did Mr. Yo take damage? Of course he did. Let's look at the Celts, a civilization built around their need for speed. Celtic lumberjacks work 15% faster, which is great because they need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Celtic siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all siege workshop units can be upgraded to get 40% more HP. Now, coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry does move faster starting in Feudal Age. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to attack faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second, you got it, fastest infantry unit in the game, and one that comes with a good amount of HP and a pretty strong attack. Now, in order to feed a big, hungry, growing Celtic population, the Celts can actually convert and steal enemy herdables, even if those herdables are standing right next to enemy units. Those are the two civilizations we're working with. Will it be a clean pull? Kind of looks like it for now. Oh, right at the end, the elephant had to get a little poke in the butt right before he gets taken down and harvested for meat. Why don't we take a look at the bases as the players both hit 16 villagers apiece and see where are their primary and secondary resources. Primary gold for our Celt, primary stone, both nice and secure in the back. Where is the additional gold and stone? A little bit in the forward position, and then a third pile right at the top, a bit exposed between these two hills. Forests in a decent triangle shape, easy to wall off the forward position with this one kind of medium-sized anchor forest in the very front, so a bit of an arrow shape. Side easy to wall off, bottom easy to wall off, so not exactly the worst of bases here for Mr. Yo, who has never been one to shy away from very long and arduous wall-offs as he heads like a beeline straight for the Celtic base. MbL is about to get discovered. Rather, MbL is heading straight for Mr. Yo's base in a beeline. Mr. Yo doing the exact same thing. I apologize. I was looking at one scout describing the other. Let's take a look at where our Koreans' resources are. Primary gold and stone also nice and secure in the back. Additional stone and gold, though, also secure in the back, unlike Mr. Yo's, who are exposed to the front. And where is his third patch of gold? The tertiary gold, unknowingly placed on the slope of a hill. But that, I mean, that's a pretty big freaking hill. Holy moly. Sometimes, I mean, that's a massive, massive hill. What is going on in this map? I'm going to zoom out. I'm looking at the mini map. This is like Kilimanjaro and Everest in one map. Where are the forests for our Korean? In a bit of a U-shaped here. So the entire northern portion of his base is completely open. So what MbL benefits from in terms of position of resources, making them easier to mine with less of a risk, he does in exchange have to deal with a much more open northern base, whereas Mr. Yo, like I said, a lot of very quick areas that he can wall off here with very medium level effort, but his additional resources are all very much exposed to the front, which might explain why he is the one putting on the aggression as 3 militias, a scout, move forward here in 12 seconds. These are going to be the faster moving Celtic men-at-arms as they engage into the barracks. Can't really go inside, but attack it nonetheless they do. Our Korean ignoring the lemon bushes, saying, you know what, this is way too exposed for me. I don't really want to take these lemon bushes right now, or if ever. Well, let's see how he plans on getting food. He's got only 6 villagers on food to the 7 of his opponent, and using the resources as part of his wall off. I like that Mr. Yo is attacking this one palisade here, which means the villager has to go all the way around the gold pile. Or maybe not. The villager just has to build a palisade gate. Somebody's building this palisade gate? Hello? Somebody? Was he just waiting? Okay, now it's a little bit too late. What the hell was that? Okay, so... I mean, I'm trying to look on the bright side and think that maybe MbL, who now loses a spearman, by the way, so first blood prize going to Mr. Yo here. I'm trying to look on the bright side and thinking maybe he thought that he didn't want to place it too soon in case Mr. Yo backed off of this one palisade. But, I mean, probably should have placed that a little bit earlier. In any event, there are now 3 men-at-arms and a scout inside his base, but he's got an archer, he's got a town center. What he doesn't have is a wood line to the west. Luckily for him, a few lumberjacks to the south. Oh, now he's starting to lose villagers. That's not good. But did Mr. Yo overstay his welcome here? These 2 men-at-arms, the surviving 2, not exactly the strongest. And oh, and now they're trapped. Like a horror movie, they are trapped inside this base. They're going to try to get something done, but they ultimately all bite the dust. Now, 3 men-at-arms in exchange for a spearman and a villager. I'll let you guys do the calculations on that in terms of lifespan of the game, which is more important. By the way, I love that Mr. Yo is not using the individual solitary trees as part of his wall off. He knows that those can be demolished and replaced with an enemy palisade, which will then get deleted, which gives MbL access to his base, so he ignores them. And let's see what happens now as our Korean moves out. Remember, all of their archer units do cost 50% less wood, which is just an absolute amazing feature. Now they are infantry as well, but you know what infantry costs wood? It's basically trash. It's basically pikemen, halberdiers, spearmen, nothing really else, right? I can't think of any other infantry unit that the Koreans have access to that costs wood. So essentially, archer spam, trash spam in the later stages of the game. Not that halberdiers and pikemen and whatnot are very expensive in terms of wood expenditure, but you know what? Any discount is a good discount. Who's kidding who? Oh, and I don't know if you guys can hear that. There is construction sound behind me. I'm going to try to blot that out, and hopefully no one can hear anything. Or maybe not if you guys can't hear them, but let's see. As MbL now moves forward. The game has definitely slowed down. Both players banking a decent amount of food, not that much gold to speak of for our Korean, as he invested a good amount into these archers, but 100 gold nonetheless. Let's see what they're doing here at home. A blacksmith, got an archery range, as we know, so MbL is going to have the 2 requisite structures. Once the blacksmith goes up, we see an archery range and a market for Mr. Yo, so he already has. He just needs a little bit more food. And is MbL getting the berries? Yeah, he's getting the berries. Look at these archers. Okay, this is why he's got no gold. He's got 7 archers going up to 8. Now theirs is a wood discount, not a gold discount. So these archers might be setting him back a little bit too much, going up to the next age. Whereas Mr. Yo is already 5 villagers ahead and already has 350 gold. Will he buy the food he needs to go up to the next stage? Will he just wait a little bit longer? He doesn't really see a lot of aggression, so he must be assuming that MbL, like him, is just rushing. Yeah, he bought the food. There we go. So he just needs 100 more food, 50, 60 more food. Is he going to garrison? Is he going to do the old force drop on these units or wait? Nope. There it is. So he clicks up the castle. To be honest, MbL not too far behind. Even though he's down 5 villagers, even though he lost a villager, spent a whole bunch of gold on 9 archers. Why is this archer not being... I feel like this one archer was being trained for the last half hour. So he's actually not too far behind, to be honest. About 10 seconds behind his opponent, down 4 villagers, and having spent a whole bunch of gold on his archer units. Discovers the perimeter to the south has been walled in to the north. Discovers the exact same thing. So Mr. Yo, like I said, never really want to shy away from big wall-offs and carving out large chunks of the map for himself. Has taken up what looks like about a 1/6 of the map, MbL. I don't even know if I can call this a wall-off, to be honest. Has he not explored the south? I really wonder why he extended the wall off horizontal here and not across from the dark space of this edge of the world to the forest. Has he not seen this? He has. Okay. That would have given him a little bit more room here for perhaps some farms or infrastructure of some kind. It looks like 2 ships passing in the night, a few Celtic skirmishers and a spearman, a few Korean archers. What took down 2 HP? Possibly the lion before he got. Okay, now they're going to discover each other. He's going to get the spearman, and then he's going to back away. Perfect reaction time here by MbL, who is 26 seconds away from Castle Age. Mr. Yo, 10 seconds right now. And look at Mr. Yo's resources. 728 food, 436 gold. 100 stone just disappeared, which tells us he is plopping down a town center. Okay, so he is going... for a second town center here. MbL's upgrading his archers to crossbows, because why the hell not? You have him. Might as well make the best of them, as this scout will gun down. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hello. The Michael Jackson spearman. Hee hee. Just bites the dust. Although that's a Queen song, not exactly... that's not a Michael Jackson, right? That's another one. Bites the dust is Queen. Freddie Mercury, not Michael Jackson. So I do apologize for mixing my 80s mega pop stars, but I'm sure you will forgive and probably forget. Is this open? No, it is not. Ooh, and all of a sudden with Bodkin, these guys now have 7 range, which means that these villagers need to get the hell out of here. What they don't have is ballistics, which means the villagers are pretty damn safe and get the hell out nonetheless. Mr. O, by the way, has a nice forest in the back that he can start jacking lumber from. And our Korean wants to make his presence known. Not a single tower. Korean tower rush is really a thing, but not to MbL, who, by the way, I'm happy to report, is in no risk of being housed. We discussed this a day or two ago during the live stream. We were talking about the quality of the top 10 players in the world. And I mean, of course, MbL is in that category. And we were discussing how he's been having issues with getting housed lately, but 8 supply, and he's only training 5 villagers, so he is in no risk of being housed anytime soon. Mystery, oh, by the way, with a 3rd town center. I love this location in the middle of the desert with some stone, with room for farms. And MbL kind of just slows the pace of the game now. So now he's attacking a house. You've got 800 times more army than your opponent. 8 times. 8 times more army than your opponent, and you are attacking palisade walls. MbL needs to put the pedal to the metal right now and realize that he is very much ahead militarily. What is Mr. Yo doing with this scout? The HP is terrible, so he is on relic duty, most likely, or map exploration duty. No relics yet, although 1 monastery already up and running. A monk. A 3rd town center going up for MbL as well. 1 villager, not enough room for you here. So he's kind of just frozen in time. He's doing that challenge where people just freeze, and then the camera just pans over everyone in the office who's kind of frozen in place. But both players will be sitting on 3 town centers. Villager lead extended to 7. Army count still 4 times bigger. And dare I say, a little bit better as well. Although, never discount Celtic Siege. Remember, they fire 25% faster. Ooh, and look at this. Mr. Yo's angling for a fight. He wants to take a fight right now. He deletes his own palisade. He will move in. Does have the high ground, which means he can take a shot from this mangonel without dying. which is a luxury that MbL does not have, and he is now 18 population away from being housed. So, I mean, I'm keeping an eye on the top left here to keep tabs on whether MbL will get housed or not. And look at this. I mean, it takes balls to siege push into a Celt. It really does. Even though, take a look at the cool feature. Minimum range, second last indicator there, 1. Minimum range, 3. But we'll see. I don't think Mysterio is going to really get that close to these mangonels. That minimum range is going to be that relevant. Scorpion goes down. 3 mangonels to 2, but these are 2 Celtic mangonels which fire back from the high ground. But no! Fantastic shot by MbL, getting the last of these mangonels. And where is his siege workshop, by the way? It's all the way down here. So it's going to be a while until this mangonel that he's building is going to even get here. And MbL is here with 22 army supply. How much of it is here? 12 crossbows, 3 mangonels, 2 monks, a knight, and a repairing villager. Ooh, but we got counter monks. Counter monks here, 1, 2. I don't think I saw redemption, which means that these mangonels should feel free to move forward. They do, and they get 1 monk here to the south. What is moving forward here? Villagers. I got so excited. I thought I was looking at his stone pile, but no, he's got 35 stone. Now he's doing a tower push. Okay. I'm not going to say no to any tower push out of the Koreans, but I mean, at the 28-minute mark of the game against the Celt, I don't know about that. We'll see how that works out for MbL, who is very much here, but not really getting any kind of critical damage done. What do you guys think? Should he be going after the town center, or should he start demolishing some of this infrastructure? Because there's a castle out now for our Celt, and that castle is going to start training Woad Raiders, and there's already 5 garrisoned inside. And we have seen the absolute insanity that is the Woad Raider as another Celtic mangonel bites the dust from the low ground. I'm not too sure a dozen crossbows are going to be enough to stop these Woad Raiders. How many are we up to now? Where are they? Oh, they're heading across the map. 3 relics to 0 for our Korean at this moment. Monsieur has abandoned his attempt to repair the town center, at least for now. MbL has no clue that this is coming. He has map control on the other side of the map, but he has 0 map presence here in the dark. And out they pop from the fog of war, and let's see how he reacts to this. He's got literally nothing at home, and Woad Raider eat TC like Celt do. +2 attack against building, 12 attack, and the movement speed. I mean, look at this. Just freaking ridiculous. More of them move out. One gets converted, and all of a sudden we're crocodiling it with 1 eyeball on the left side of the map, 1 eyeball on the right, and he reclaims the Woad Raider. Mr. Yo rehabilitates the traitorous Woad Raider, but he's down a town center. Body blocking with houses is going to do well, but maybe not against crossbows. Monsieur, tell me you're just going to move these villagers to the right side of the castle and then build it. Yeah, okay, good. I was hoping he wouldn't be running away from these. No, he is running away from the crossbows while doing a what looks like a good amount of damage back in MbL's base. Did he just abandon this castle? Interesting, as a very aggressive Korean castle gets plopped. Our Korean MbL, a minute away from Imperial. Mr. Yo, nowhere close. Woad Raider gets shoot away. 4 kills, 3 kills rather. All villagers, 1 conversion, which is the basic Woad Raider that he managed to rehabilitate earlier. Yeah, you're not going to stop a Woad Raider with crossbows. That is definitely not going to happen, especially not with those numbers. Although Mr. Yo's fighting into a bit of a choke point here, and against monks, so he does. Oh, that could have been so much worse for MbL, who survives just in time to get destroyed by the castle. And what the hell? Look at the army count now. MbL's army count's down to 5. His castle has ballistics. Whoop-de-doo. And he's training a trebuchet with his castle in his Imperial Age advantage. Although Mr. Yo's attack is also kind of stalled. How many villagers? 20 villagers on stone for our Celt. Okay. So we're gonna go see, probably see a mass amount of Woad Raiders. Okay. He plops down. the tower, sees the castle going up with the siege workshop, immediately cancels it, and then builds a town center back home. Even though he built a very aggressive one here next to the gold, trying to teeth the gold here, which is not bad. 11 villagers in this town center should do a decent job against these woad raiders until reinforcements arrive. How many more trebs are coming out? Just one more. He has enough wood for one more. Let's see if he can reconvert and rehabilitate. There we go. The Celtic prison system showing itself to be able to rehabilitate former escapees or whatever. I don't know where that analogy is going. But we've now got 2 trebs. Castle is not being repaired. Woad raiders are being trained. He does have villagers here nearby. He does have 400 stone. Another town center out on the map. Another incursion by the woad raiders, but this time there's a castle to support this one unfortunate crossbowman who took it upon his shoulders to defend the homeland. And as happens outside of Hollywood, when it's 1 versus 5, dies. But speaking of dying, castle goes down. Mysterio not repairing it. Another monk, another conversion, another death. Drama on the hot sands of Arabia here as Mysterio's woads return home. They sense a weakness. They sense that MbL with his defensive castle is interested in being more on the defensive side. And whoa, war wagons. I mean, look at the stats on this beast. 150 HP, 9 base attack, 7 pierce armor. But as cool as it looks, as awesome as those ballista bolts look like when they're fired outside of that, I don't know where they're fired from. It's not like the Hussite wagon that has those little gun turrets sticking out. I don't know where exactly the bolts are coming here or coming from. This is still just a basic cav archer. I know it doesn't look like it. I know it looks like a super cool unit with his spiked wheel, but it is essentially a basic cav archer. But the stats are obviously a lot better than the cav archer. Sipahi ain't got nothing on the Korean war wagon. Ooh, these guys are moving. There's a bit of gunpowder as well. So our Korean is building a quite diverse army here designed to tank against the woad raiders and kill them. Move command. That is so sour. And now the woads are going to have a field day here. They're just going to swarm over this small band of ranged units. Man, are they... They're just so powerful. The woad raiders are ridiculous. I've said this before, and I'll say it all the live long day. For a gentleman in funny pantaloons, shirtless, long hair, who looks like somebody who should be serving coffee in a Portland Starbucks with a wooden shield and an axe, man, do they do a lot of damage. But our Korean refuses to leave. This castle is still here. Mr. Yo is still in Castle Age. Has half the food, half the gold needed to go up. But the woad raiders, oh, you need a villager here to help repair. The villagers are all busy mining gold. I mean, this is a fantastic move out of MbL. Good moves out of both players, but MbL's losing a lot of trebuchets. The villagers get in on the action. They want some of the blood as well. And so a tower gets attempted to be denied. There's a better way of saying that. The Celts attempt to deny the Korean castle, and they fail miserably. There is Yeopseong, which will add 2 range to this tower. Looks like a couple of villagers had the same idea as our Korean to place a random town center in the middle of nowhere. And those war wagons had other thoughts. And look at this now. I love this perimeter. Any attack by our Celt, 12 range, ridiculous. Any attack by our Celt into this is going to have to, into this gold pile here to try to lame it, is going to have to go through a whole bunch of towers, a whole bunch of hand cannoneers. So a bit of a dispersed fight here. Whoa. Really? Interesting. Let's rewind for a second. What happened here that forced Mr. Yo to resign? So you move forward. I mean, he's stuck in Castle Age. We know why he resigned. 1 woad down. 2 woad down. 3 woad. 4 woad. 5 woad. Jenga! And at the same time, this castle... I mean, these are just basic battering rams. They're not capped. They're not nothing. They are just basic rams. And wow, MbL. Oh my god, he ends the game housed right as I was talking such a talking him up so much about not being housed. He ends the game actually housed. That is the quit. That is so MbL. If I can say that, if I can speak like a 15-year-old valley girl from Century City, that is so MbL. Like totally MbL to get housed right as he wins, you know. But wow, what a fun game. It looks like our Korean was about to get his 4th relic. How long has this monk been standing here with this relic, by the way? Oh, yeah, it looks like a good amount of time. Okay, so he's just kind of chilling. But MbL with a non-stop aggression did not give Mr. Yo an opportunity to get all aggro with the Celts. And we know from watching Huang games and just watching any of these high elo players play with the Celts, what the hell can happen to you if the Celts go on the aggressive. Celt Eat TC is something that should be tattooed on the eyeballs of everyone playing the Celts. And so denying a town center to the north, Castle still up despite numerous attempts to take it down and numerous attempts to get rid of those Trebs, which, by the way, look, they've been shooed away a little bit. So they must have been running away from the Woad Raiders here. And Mr. Yo, I mean, the villager, I'm trying to see the villager kill count. He didn't lose that many villagers, only 18 dead Celtic villagers to the 11 that he killed. So villager kill's not really the story here. Did anyone see this relic? Yeah, blue saw it. Red saw it. Okay. So at some point, our Korean just gave up, said, you know what, 3 relics is enough for me. And Mr. Yo makes one last glorious attempt in Castle Age. So he had an opportunity, and he took it to double down in Castle Age. He didn't really rush it. It looked for a while when he had the 500 food and the 400 gold, like he wanted to rush up to Imperial and maybe contest these well-placed buildings from our Korean, especially with 1, 2, 3 castles ringing the center of his base. I mean, if each one of these trained a trebuchet, I mean, this castle go bye-bye. But what a fun game out of both players. 20, I'm surprised it's 28 crossbows. Although, yeah, I guess, you know, what else would it be? 67 woads. I know numbers, I swear. PKPM, beginning of the game, PKPM. I mean, look at this. 1108, 1103. I'm going to have to go back at it and see what the hell was going on at that time. I think, you know what that was? That was the crocodile time when there was aggression on both sides of the map. So no wonder. I can't imagine in a 40-minute game that the economies are much different. Yeah, less than 10% different. Our Korean taking wood against the Celt is a big surprise. Our Celt taking food just by literally 18 chicken McNuggets. A lot more gold for our Korean and a little bit less stone for our Korean. Of course, a lot more gold. He was taking that tertiary gold of his opponent. 5 conversions out of 91 is what? 6%? 5.5%? Exactly 100 kills even by the Korean 67. So Mr. Yo just never really got an opportunity to have his economy up and running, whereas MbL, after that initial harassment, after Mr. Yo got that villager with those men-at-arms, where I forget exactly where the, I think the forest was here. If this is the original TC and the berries were here. After that, yeah, because here's the that gate that he built next to the stone, next to the gold pile. So somewhere here where he got that villager kill, things were looking a little dicey for our Korean, but he just pushed out with those crossbows. And even though I said he wasn't really doing too much critical damage, Mr. Yo was also playing a bit more relaxed this game, as both of them appear to have. I mean, the PKPM is pretty relaxed for both, 113 to 124, but our Korean just refused to leave, and now he's reinforcing his position with those Eupseong towers that have 13 range, now that he has Bracer. And Mr. Yo's attempt to rush this with just basic battering rams is definitely not going to work. Although, to be fair, against an archer civilization, rushing with rams is not a bad idea. That 180 pierce armor has something to do with that decision. But yeah, Mr. Yo's gold has been lamed here by these towers. His resources have been taken by those dozen villagers that we saw here earlier. This gold is lamed. And so just the position of those extra resources, this is the only save gold mine he has, and has 400 gold left in it. Not even, just barely not enough to go up to Imperial Age. Not that he has the luxury or the time to go up to Imperial Age. He's got 1, 2 town centers to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of MbL. So MbL just putting the pressure on. Not exactly a crazy amount of pressure for the beginning part of the battle, but a good enough amount of pressure that Mr. Yo just cannot expand. He's got nowhere to expand to, which explains why he's going this way into the middle of these weird hilly territories. And even then he gets denied and pushed off the gold with these Yapseong towers, which are just ridiculous and amazing at doing that, at laming those resources. So an absolute fantastic game. I love that we saw the War Wagon. Not exactly a unit we see all the time. Fully upgraded, by the way, for a basic War Wagon, not elite just yet. And with those War Wagons, with the castles, with the towers, with the crossbows, hand cannoneers, monks, and honestly, villagers, just as important. We've got a bombard as well. Mangonels. What the hell did MbL not throw at his opponent? Holy moly, he literally threw the kitchen sink at Mr. Yo, and I guess at the end it worked, because Mr. Yo taps out, lives to fight another day, down about 70 supply. MbL, our Korean in red, is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.